The sun sets over Istanbul, a city draped in the colors of history, where every sunset tells a story of its own. Ever wondered if the sun gets tired of setting over such a historic skyline every day? Minarets pierce the sky, their silhouettes a testament to Ottoman ambition, standing tall as guardians of a rich and diverse heritage. Do you think they ever get together for a minaret meeting? Beneath them, the Bosphorus Strait shimmers, a waterway that has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, a silent observer of the passage of time. If the Bosphorus could talk, what stories would it tell? Look closer, beneath the bustling streets and modern facades, and you will find layers of history waiting to be uncovered. Ever feel like you're walking on a giant historical lasagna? Ancient whispers linger in the air, telling tales of a bygone era. Can you hear them, or is it just the wind playing tricks? Crumbling walls speak of legendary battles, of heroes and conquerors who once walked these lands. Imagine the walls could talk. What would they say about their battle scars? The ghosts of emperors and sultans walk these streets, their stories etched in stone, their legacies immortalized in the very fabric of the city. Ever feel like you're being watched by history itself? This is Istanbul, a city where the past is always present, a living tapestry woven from the threads of empires long gone, yet never forgotten. How many threads do you think it takes to weave a city like this? Hear the echoes of the Byzantine Empire in the crumbling fortifications of Constantinople, a reminder of a once mighty civilization. Do you think the echoes ever get tired of echoing? See them in the magnificent dome of the Hagia Sophia, once a church, then a mosque, now a museum, a symbol of Istanbul's layered history. If buildings could win awards, Hagia Sophia would have a shelf full, right? These stones have borne witness to over a millennium of history, standing resilient through the ages. Ever wonder if they have a favorite century? They whisper tales of emperors and patriarchs, of crusaders and conquerors, each stone a storyteller in its own right. If stones could write books, would they be bestsellers? The spirit of Constantinople, the city that once stood as the bulwark of Christendom, still resonates in the heart of Istanbul, a city that bridges continents and cultures. Ever feel like you're standing at the crossroads of the world? Wander through the labyrinthine alleyways of the Grand Bazaar, where the scent of spices hangs heavy in the air, and the vibrant colors of the market captivate the senses. How many spices can you name in one breath? This ancient marketplace, a testament to the city's role as a crossroads of trade, has witnessed centuries of commerce and cultural exchange, a bustling hub of activity. Ever tried haggling for a piece of history? Here, the echoes of camel caravans and merchant ships mingle with the shouts of vendors and the laughter of children, creating a symphony of sounds that tell the story of Istanbul's vibrant past. Can you hear the camel's footsteps? This is the heart of Istanbul, a vibrant testament to the city's enduring spirit, where the old and new coexist in harmony. Ever feel like you're walking through a living history book? The past is not forgotten in Istanbul, it is celebrated and cherished. How many historical landmarks can you spot in one stroll? It is woven into the very fabric of the city, a constant reminder of the ebb and flow of history, a living museum of human civilization. Ever feel like you're part of the tapestry? From the ancient Hippodrome to the Topkapi Palace, the legacy of empires echoes through the ages, each landmark a chapter in the city's rich history. If these landmarks could talk, what would be their favorite stories? Istanbul stands as a testament to the enduring power of the past, a city where history is not merely studied but lived, a place where every stone has a story to tell. What's your favorite story from Istanbul's past? Constantinople, ever heard of it? If not, buckle up. The very name evokes images of grandeur and power, like the ultimate medieval Instagram hotspot, a city that stood as a beacon of civilization for over 1,000 years. That's a lot of selfies. Founded in 330 AD by Emperor Constantine the Great on the site of the ancient Greek city of Byzantium, Constantinople quickly rose to prominence. Talk about a glow-up. Situated strategically on the narrow strait connecting the Black Sea to the Sea of Marmara, it commanded the vital trade routes between east and west. Who needs GPS when you have Constantinople? This new Rome, as it was known, became the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire, which later became known as the Byzantine Empire. Fancy name, right? Constantinople stood as a beacon of Christianity in the East, its walls holding firm against the waves of barbarian invasions that swept across Europe in the early Middle Ages. Talk about a tough neighborhood. Its emperors ruled from opulent palaces, their courts glittering with wealth and learning. Imagine the bling, For centuries, Constantinople flourished as a center of learning, art, and commerce. The original Silicon Valley? Its libraries housed countless ancient texts, preserving the knowledge of the classical world. Who needs Google? Its artisans produced exquisite mosaics, icons, and silks that were prized throughout the known world. Fashion Week, anyone? Its merchants traded with distant lands, bringing spices, silks, and other exotic goods to the West. The original Amazon Prime. Constantinople was more than just a city, it was an idea. A really big idea. It represented the enduring legacy of Roman civilization, a bridge between the ancient world and the medieval era. Quite the architectural feat. Its fall in 1453 marked not only the end of an empire but also the beginning of a new chapter in world history. And what a plot twist that was. Constantinople, throughout its history, was a city defined by its defenses, a bastion of resilience and strength. But have you ever wondered if they had a secret recipe for those walls? Its very survival, nestled at the crossroads of ambition and empires, depended on them. Imagine being the city that everyone wants to visit, but for all the wrong reasons. The triple walls, stretching for 4 miles on land, were an engineering marvel of the ancient world, a testament to human ingenuity. Ever tried building a sandcastle that could withstand a tide? These guys took it to the next level. Towers rose at regular intervals, each a mini fortress in its own right, designed to repel invaders. Talk about having a strong neighborhood watch. These walls had withstood countless sieges, repelling Goths, Avars, Arabs, and more, standing as a symbol of defiance. It's like the ultimate game of keep out. They were a testament to Roman ingenuity, a symbol of impenetrability and architectural brilliance. Ever wonder if they had a Best Walls award back then? But by the 15th century, Constantinople was a city in decline, a shadow of its former glory. Kind of like that one friend who peaked in high school. The once mighty Byzantine Empire had been whittled away by internal strife and external enemies, losing its vast territories. Ever feel like you're losing a game of Risk? They lived it. Its territory, once vast, had shrunk to little more than the city itself and its surrounding countryside, a mere fraction of its former expanse. It's like going from owning a mansion to a studio apartment. The Black Death had ravaged the population, leaving it depleted and demoralized, a city struggling to survive. Ever had a bad flu season? Multiply that by 1,000. The coffers were empty, unable to maintain the vast defenses or hire a sizable army, a dire situation for the city's leaders. Imagine trying to fix your house with an empty wallet. The spirit of the people, however, had not been entirely extinguished. A flicker of hope remained. Because let's face it, hope is the last thing to go. They understood the precariousness of their situation, the looming threat that surrounded them. Ever felt like you're living on the edge? They were literally doing it. They knew that their city, once considered unconquerable, was now vulnerable, a target for ambitious foes. It's like being the last cookie in the jar. Yet they clung to hope, to the belief that their walls, their faith, and their courage would be enough to see them through the impending storm. Because sometimes all you need is a little faith and a lot of courage. The Theodosian walls, named for the emperor who had commissioned their construction, were still a formidable obstacle, a relic of past strength. Ever named something after yourself? This guy did it with walls. But time and neglect had taken their toll, weakening the once mighty fortifications. Even the best walls need a little TLC. Cracks had appeared, sections had crumbled, and resources were scarce for repairs, a city struggling to maintain its defenses. It's like trying to patch a sinking ship with duct tape. The defenders, though resolute, were too few to man the vast fortifications adequately, a daunting task for the brave few. Ever tried to do a group project with only 2 people? They were living it. The stage was set for a confrontation that would decide the fate of Constantinople and change the course of history forever. Ready for the grand finale? Stay tuned. Across the Bosporus, a new power was rising, the Ottoman Empire, a force that would soon change the course of history. But did they have a secret recipe for success? Let's find out. Under a succession of ambitious sultans, the Ottomans had expanded rapidly, conquering vast swaths of territory in Anatolia and the Balkans, establishing their dominance in the region. Talk about an empire on the move. By the mid-15th century, they had encircled Constantinople, their grip on the city tightening with each passing year, making the city's fall seem more and more inevitable. Ever feel like you're surrounded? Constantinople sure did. The fall of the city, once unthinkable, now seemed inevitable, a looming shadow over the Byzantine Empire. It's like waiting for the other shoe to drop, but with more cannons. Leading the Ottoman charge was a young Sultan, Mehmed II, known to history as the Conqueror, a title he was determined to earn. Because the mediocre just doesn't have the same ring to it. Ambitious, ruthless, and possessed of a keen intellect, Mehmed was obsessed with Constantinople, seeing it as the ultimate prize. Ever had your eye on something shiny? Mehmed sure did. He saw its capture as his destiny, the fulfillment of a prophecy that had haunted the Ottoman sultans for generations, a prophecy that spoke of a great leader who would take the city. No pressure, right? To conquer Constantinople, in Mehmed's mind, would be to surpass even Alexander the Great and cement his legacy as the greatest ruler the world had ever seen. A ruler who would be remembered for centuries. Move over, Alex! Mehmed was determined to succeed where his predecessors had failed, to achieve what had been deemed impossible. Because who doesn't love a good underdog story? He assembled a massive army, estimated at over 100,000 men, equipped with the most advanced weaponry of the age, ready to lay siege to the city. It's like bringing a bazooka to a knife fight. He commissioned the construction of a colossal cannon, the likes of which the world had never seen, capable of smashing through the legendary walls of Constantinople, walls that had stood for centuries. Go big or go home, right? This was to be no ordinary siege. This was to be a clash of civilizations, a showdown for the ages, a battle that would determine the future of the region. Who doesn't love a good showdown? Mehmed's ambition, however, was not driven solely by religious zeal or a thirst for conquest, but by a vision of a grand empire. Think big, dream bigger. He envisioned Constantinople as the jewel in his empire's crown, the capital from which he would rule over a vast and powerful realm, a city that would be the heart of his empire. Who wouldn't want a city with a view? He saw the city's strategic importance, its potential as a center of trade and culture, a hub that would connect east and west. Location, location, location. The conquest of Constantinople, in Mehmed's eyes, was not just an end in itself, but a means to an even grander end, the creation of a new world order under Ottoman rule, a legacy that would endure for generations. Now that's what I call thinking